This is a PokePress mailbag.
Hi, I'm Stephen Reich, answering your latest batch of questions which you put in the original video. Our first one is from Ghostmaster1, who said, I liked all the videos, but I like video coverage better because I can see what's going on. I would like to see more filming of TCG matches. This is just what I want to see more of, and everything else is good. Well, one of the problems with filming TCG matches is getting a good angle so that you can see everything and make out what's going on. With a video screen, I can just, shoot the video screen there, and it doesn't matter too terribly what angle I'm at or where exactly I'm pointing. Aside from, as opposed to with a TCG, if there's no cameras on the match that I can just view on a screen, I have to find some way to get as close to directly above, which of course I can never do, as possible to get the best angle. The other problem is logistical. TCG matches tend to be a lot longer than video game matches. In the Video Game World Championships this year, they were able to run best of 3 for, I think, maybe the entire tournament, at least all the top cut. And that's because the video games almost never take more than 20 minutes, and many of them are done in less than 10. By comparison, trading card games, the standard match round time for Swiss rounds, where you play single game matches, is 40 minutes. And in best 2 out of 3, that can be an hour or even more in some cases. And practically speaking, unless I can somehow get my camera right near a power outlet, battery time becomes a real issue there, and it's very difficult to film the whole thing. Now that I have a flash memory-based camcorder rather than a tape-based one, the time storage isn't as much of a problem, except from the fact that then afterwards you have to edit an hour's worth of footage, which is daunting to say the least. So, that's why I haven't really covered any TCG matches as they happen. The other thing is I try to stick to video interviews when I have subject matter that's visually appealing. So during Worlds, the opening and closing ceremonies, the finals of the video game, and the nice little video of the competitor goodies that people get when they qualify for the tournament, those seem to be the most visually interesting stuff for me, as well as the site tour, of course. So I try to stick to audio interviews for stuff that's less visually interesting. Now, I do kind of wish I had snapped a photo of the third place player that I interviewed from the video game, but that's something to consider for next time. Freezer0255 asks, just wants to know why all the battles at the San Diego finals were partly blurred out. Don't you have the right to show the full screen? It says it made the coverage almost worthless. Besides that, thanks for your effort. Well, as you can imagine, I've received a fair number of comments in this vein, a lot of them not nearly as nicely phrased and thought out. The basic reason is, in order to use people's names, I have to get permission from them. If I use their stuff anonymously, I'm pretty much okay there. Now, one thing you may have noticed as you went through the videos is that eventually I got to the point where I could actually just blur out the parts of the screen where their name would actually appear. I was a little bit handicapped because for the finals, especially for the seniors, it was, it was in Japanese because both players were Japanese, so I couldn't, wasn't 100% sure where their names were showing up. I had to kind of guess based on the English version of the Battle Revolution, which I'm more familiar with, obviously. So in the future, there probably won't be any video game stuff here in the U.S. until early next year. I'm hoping they'll be doing more stuff here, and I have a feeling they will. If there's an event in, say, the Chicago area, I should be able to make it down there for that and do some coverage there. I'll be keeping the amount of blurring down to a minimum. But it's a trade-off between, how much editing do I want to do? I could edit so only the parts that the name appear are blurred out when the name is showing up there, but that takes a long time to edit around and work from, as opposed to, depends how long you guys want to wait for me to finish one of my videos. Lord of the Dances writes, if you could have a Pokemon to have as a real-life companion with you at all times, at all places in your videos, what would it be and why? I guess I should have given more thought before starting this video, but Probably something with levitate so it could carry my tripod and my camera and my recording supplies so I wouldn't have to. Which means I'd probably be hanging around with a ghost. But that would probably be the most helpful one, and one that doesn't make a lot of noise, so I guess Chatot is out. Then again, I might want something that flies so it can bring me stuff to and from. It's an interesting question. I wish I had a better answer for it. Dan the Pirates King 25 asks, this isn't strictly a video-related question, but I would like to know if you get Soul Silver or Heart Gold, what Pokemon do you want following you all the time? Haven't really thought about that. It might just be my starter. I don't know. I don't really have a particular preference in that area, but I just felt like answering that one. Let's see, and we have one from TommyMan99. He says, I like all the videos you do on Pokemon events. I especially like the one about the tour of the convention hall at Worlds 09 and the interview on the kid who sewed up all the cool stuff he got in his duffel bag. Yeah, the video game stuff he talks a little bit more about, and that it was very difficult for him to make out what was going on. Like I said, it is a technical requirement with, I do have a real job that I work at, and I only have so much free time to do this stuff, and it takes a lot longer than a lot of people think to edit this kind of video together. From reading people on chat rooms, and I'm not meaning to really disparage anyone, but I think a lot of people, when they see coverage of events on TV, they kind of seem to not realize all the work and how many people it takes. And I'm just one person. So, like I said, in the future, I should be able to just blur out the portions where the player's name can actually appear. And that should definitely be an improvement. If you look at the last couple videos of the video game finals from this year's Worlds in the senior division, you'll notice I've reduced from blurring the whole image to just blurring the sensitive parts. So that's something I'm definitely working on and looking forward to this year is increasing the amount of coverage I do and covering more events and more people. So in the meantime, just keep it tuned here to PokePress and sit back, relax, and enjoy the news content. Thanks.
This has been a PokePress Mailbag.